Hello guys, what's going on? Welcome back to my video. Some of you guys the best 3 Akumas in Shindo Life. Now, I'd like to say before I start this video, this is not in any particular order. I'm not ranking them from best to worst or anything like that. I'm just going to be telling you guys the best 3 Akumas in this game. So if you guys enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe, like, comment more. Let's get right to the video, guys. Now, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys every single Akuma in the game, so just so you guys are aware of what the Akuma is and why it's in the game. Alright, so we got the normal Akuma here. That's just the normal Sharingan. And you got Bankai, which is based off of Itachi. Shiver Akuma, I'm pretty sure that is based off of Obito, but now it used to be called Forge Akuma, just so you guys are aware of that. Ryan Akuma is actually based off Sasuke. Satori Akuma is based off Shusui. Sorry if I said the name wrong or anything like that. Feel free to correct me in the comments. And then you have Riser Akuma, which is actually made for the YouTuber Riser Dawn, which is actually a remake of Itachi. And also, I forgot to say this, but Satori Akuma is actually made for the YouTuber Sweepy. Then you have Big Boy Shindai here, which is based off of Madara, which is one of the strongest people that have existed in Naruto, I'm pretty sure. Alright, so we're starting with the most obvious one, which is going to be Bankai. Bankai is one of the oldest bloodlines in the game, I'm pretty sure. It is the oldest Sharingan in the game, besides the normal Akuma. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe so. And it also used to be even more busted than it is now. But it still is one of the best Akumas in the game for a particular amount of reasons that I'll discuss now. The C spec, it block breaks, but it also drains up to 4K mode, and there are some glitches that you can do with this where it can actually duplicate it. You also get this really cool weapon dash. That's not what it does. Usually what happens is you dash them, and it takes MD from them, and it's kind of like Inferno second, but as a weapon spec. Now I'll do the auto dodge last, actually. The second ability is one of the best stuns in the game. It only is like 3 hand signs. It does a decent amount of damage, and the stun is extremely long. It also is really, really easy to hit on people, so that's a really good thing. The third ability is basically like a long-range, super high damage ability. It does a ton of damage, and if you have 3 people in the same location, it can do up to like 200,000 damage, which is absolutely ridiculous, so be sure to check that out if you guys did not know that. Just Sengoku stun 3 people, use Bankai third, and it'll like almost one-shot them. Now, the auto dodge is one of the things that make Bankai the actual best. So she's going to go ahead and attack me now, and I'm going to show you guys how this auto dodge works. So most auto dodges, that you're not actually allowed to attack during it, but Bankai, for a very specific reason, I'll show you guys how this can be OP. So I'm going to use the auto dodge. She's going to act like she's attacking me. I don't get attacked. I'm just going to do a combo on her, do this, and then I'm going to C-spec her. And all that was in my auto dodge. So I'm sure you guys could just see off of that alone just how OP the auto dodge is. Also, as you guys can see, Bankai is literally a combo itself. You could use only Bankai and actually probably beat a lot of other people in this game only using Bankai, simply because the abilities of Bankai are just very good. Now, you also got the 4th spec. I do not actually have the 4th spec of Bankai, unfortunately, so I cannot show you guys. But it's just basically a better version of the 3rd spec, but it drains more mode. I went ahead and unequipped my weapon just so I could show you guys. I went ahead and unequipped everything, so look at this. It's basically like a dash, and it just drains their MD, and it's a dash. That's pretty much all it does. It's very cool, though. Next up is going to be not Riser 2.0. Next up is going to be Bankai 2.0, as it was said in Shindo Life 2. But people mostly think that Bankai is better than Riser. It's actually a very heavily debated topic at the moment in the Shindo Life community. Which one is better than the other? If you guys want to comment below, what do you think is better and why? Bankai or Riser? Because they're very, very similar. There's very minor differences between them, but the differences do make them different enough to explain why is one better than the other. But the difference between Bankai and Riser, I'll go into it now. The first ability isn't auto dodge, but you cannot attack during this, but you still can use C specs during this ability, which is extremely OP, and you can dash during it to break blocks, and then they'll get stunned if you break their block. Just keep that in mind. It will come in handy when you're fighting people, because whenever someone sees you use Riser auto dodge, they will immediately block, so just break their block by dashing. The second ability is like Bankai stun, but it teleports you to them, and it does less damage. That is the only difference. It teleports you to them, and it does less damage. Now, that is actually a very bad thing. It can actually mess up your combos extremely, especially if you're near training logs. You will literally get teleported to training logs instead of getting teleported to them, which obviously that's not a very good thing at all. Now, the C spec is the exact same as Bankai's. It's literally just a mode drain, and there's no difference between it. Now, this one does not have a weapon spec. The weapon spec on this is literally just a heavy attack. I don't even know if you guys would consider that kind of a weapon spec, but it is a weapon spec. There is a special effect for the heavy attack, and you can spam it if you guys want to do that. Now, the third ability of Riser is the ability that people regard as the single best ability of Riser. Now, it used to mode drain, it doesn't anymore, but it actually does over 100,000 damage if you land every single ball. Now, if you guys combo with this ability, it could be one of the single highest damage abilities in the game, depending on how you use it. Now, even though the mode drain was removed and the chi lock was removed, it still is an extremely overpowered move, and I can't believe that was even on the move before. because people still spam this move like crazy. It does give iframes as well, so that's a very important thing to note. Now, I actually do have the full riser mode because I was hunting for it before because I really wanted it. The C-spec is just, basically just an improved C-spec. Now, the weapon spec is the very cool thing. It does 3 slashes that drains an absolute ton of mode. So if you guys have not used the riser yet, be sure to go check it out. It is a very overpowered and very overused bloodline in my personal opinion. Now we're on to the big boy Shindai. Shindai was obviously going to be in this list. Everyone expected it to be on this list. Shindai just has always been not only one of the best Akumas, one of the best bloodlines in the game. Now, the third ability is basically like a Bankai stun, but again, Jitsu happens after it actually goes. There also is a very slight amount of delay before it triggers, so it is blockable in that way. But there is a Genjutsu that happens, and it basically is kind of a form of stun, but you can use moves during it. But the actual stun time of this is like 5 seconds if you include the Genjutsu, which is absolutely insane for a stun. Now, the second ability of Shindai, I don't care how many people say this is good, it's bad. It drains 50,000 chi for a move that is very hard to hit unless they're stunned. And most of the time, if they're stunned, you can literally do a one-shot combo instead of using this move that does only like 90k damage in mode. And there's overall not a real reason to ever use a stun, it's just a bad move. Now, the clones is the best ability of Shindai. The clone ability is one of the abilities that have plagued the community for so long, because this ability it used to do like 10 times the amount of damage it does now. Now, there's actually a very secret special thing with Shindai that I'll show later on in this video, but there is a secret to Shindai that makes him even more overpowered. But don't forget about the C-spec, guys. The C-spec is literally just the first ability, but as a C-spec, and you also get a very big speed boost. Now, it is very important to note that the C-spec and the first move of Shindai actually do count as a counter and auto dodge. They will trigger a counter on them. So I'm going to have her attack me now. So I'm going to use this move, and she's going to attack me. She took 10k damage into stun, and it's literally just free damage after that. It's free real estate, man. Now I'm going to show you guys the secret of Shindai. Now, I'm sure a lot of you guys know this. It's not much of a secret anymore. Just for example, I'm going to equip Muay Thai. It actually does use your weapon specs. The full Susanoo of Shindai, you automatically get it. You don't need to do war or anything like that. The C-spec, just look at this. The C-spec, you summon full Susanoo clones that use your Muay Thai weapon spec. Yes, you guys just saw that. 73,000 damage. It needs fixed, I know. And also, the weapon spec, you don't get a special weapon spec when it comes to the Shindai. I don't think it has a weapon spec at all. Now, the first ability of Shindai as a full Susanoo actually still has the same effect as a C-spec. It can sometimes use your weapon spec. Now, I'll show you guys this now. It just does less damage than your actual C-spec. It actually does have a chance of using your weapon spec. So I'm gonna wait for it to, as you guys can see, 73,000. Instantly, 73,000 damage. It is absolutely insane. Shindai is still the king of Akumas, guys. Still the king. I know I wasn't gonna rank him from best to worst or anything like that, but I believe Shindai is the best still. I believe Shindai is one of the best bloodlines still, just because of how easy it is to use, easy to combo, easy to one-shot people. Just the overall use of this bloodline is immense. I know other bloodlines, you guys are probably going to be in the comments, oh, this could beat Shindai. Oh, Satori can beat Shindai. Anything could beat any bloodline, guys. I'm just rating this on a base of as if every single player was the same amount of skill. But obviously, that is very untrue when it comes to certain things in this game. Anyways, guys, if you guys enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for more. Hope to see you next one, guys, and hopefully you enjoyed this. Peace.